So what we did is we added this little T in the butt of the club, just put a T in the butt of the club with most of the T sticking out. And what you'll notice is when I take my setup, the T is just a little bit away from my leg. That's gonna serve for me to feel where my hand path goes. Now remember, I just want the hands to go basically straight back, but I need you to feel like they're gonna work in a little as the club head works out. So the sensation is T to the thigh. We're gonna add a little bit of hinging, so the thumbs are gonna go up a little bit, and that gets the club head outside the hands. Now that's too far, but when I feel that and make a normal motion, it should put me perfect. All right guys, before we dive into today's video, one of my favorite simple drills that can make a big difference in your golf swing. Only a couple days left for our Father's Day free-for-all where you get to try out our coaching completely risk-free. Your first lesson's free, and you also get our bonus bundle with our 4 most important master classes that literally give you everything you need, a complete practice plan to follow step by step that you can follow for the rest of your life. They're my favorite ones. I want you to have access to them because I know if you put those into your game, you could really transform your game. If you're like me, you're spending a lot of time, or like I used to be, spending a lot of time practicing, not really making gains, 2 step forward, 1 step back, and you're willing to put in a little bit of work to get better, but you need a really good plan to do so, to identify the right priorities, to put the right pieces in the right order, and I can do that for you, and you can try it. All I'm asking you to do is try. You try your first lesson free. If you like it, maybe we talk about working together. If you don't like it, no harm, no foul. This offer is gonna go through Sunday, June 19th. We're gonna put that link in the description down below. We'd love to see you there. Okay, today we're gonna talk about a simple tee drill that I used with a recent member of CogornoGolf.com I've been working with, who's really struggling to control the club head to hand path relationship. And what he had is something you might have or you've seen before, is the classic hands out, club in, leading to the club head being too steep and over on the way down. We see that pattern a lot. Now, really when we swing a club, what I want to have happen is the hands and club really just work up and down like a fairly straight line. Okay, we want to keep things as simple as possible. But what we see with most of the best players is a relationship that works like this. The club head slightly outside of the hands early during the takeaway, and then it's slightly inside the hands as we work down. Let me show you an example of what I'm talking about. Okay, so we just pulled up Patrick Cantlay. I just wanted to give you an example here of what we would see as a stock swing that we really like in terms of the club head to hand path relationship. So watch his hands here during the takeaway, and notice when he goes back, the hands from here more or less stay on the line they started with, right? They're not working in, they're not working out, they're working basically straight back, which is what we're looking for. Now, as he does it, you'll notice that the club head is very clearly outside or to the right of his hands. Now, what that does is that sets him up to see the opposite reaction when he starts down. Club head's outside his hands here. As he comes down into the hit, and we get just before last parallel, now we notice that the club head's just inside his hands. And that's really what you want to see when the club shaft is last parallel to the ground. The club head is just inside your hands. That enables him to produce that club path that's 4 degrees to the right, have the club face slightly closed, and hit a 6-iron, right, 200 yards with a little draw. So just to give you the visual, that's what we're looking for a stock model. The hands work more or less straight back. Club head just outside would be nice. Even width's okay, just outside is nice to set up the opposite reaction where the club head is just inside our hands when we get to last parallel. Okay, so here's where we get to this, what the member called game changer tee drill. His words, not mine. I thought beautiful YouTube title. Is how do we get ourselves into that neutral position? Like anything else, you have to be willing to exaggerate the opposite of your problem. What does that mean? That means that if during your takeaway, instead of things going, fairly straight back on plane like we want, if you go hands out, club in, to just get to neutral, you have to feel like you go hands in, club out, exaggerated. All we want is the hands to go straight back, right over the toe line, club head even with or just outside the hands. But I'm telling you, if you're too far in here, just to get to that spot, you have to feel them way in. So what we did is we added this little T in the butt of the club, just put a T in the butt of the club with most of the T sticking out. And what you'll notice is when I take my setup, the T is just a little bit away from my leg. That's gonna serve for me to feel where my hand path goes. Now remember, I just want the hands to go basically straight back, but I need you to feel like they're gonna work in a little as the club head works out. So the sensation is T to the thigh. We're gonna add a little bit of hinging, so the thumbs are gonna go up a little bit, and that gets the club head outside the hands. Now that's too far, but when I feel that and make a normal motion, it should put me perfect. So the first part of the drill here is T in, thumbs up. So hands in, club out, T in, thumbs up. And when we're practicing that, what we saw was the takeaway pattern was much more neutral, okay? We had to work back and forth a little bit on, hey, a little bit more, a little bit less, a little bit more, a little bit less. And I like to do this and record, draw a line right up the shaft and just see yourself working right up that. But to get that with a ball, it felt T in, thumbs up. Now notice as I'm doing that, the T stays pointed towards my body. So our mantra we kind of got to was hands in, club out, T towards me. Hands in, club out, T towards me. And what that does is that sets up the opposite on the way down. Club head inside the hands now, and the T's pointed more towards the target. What this player had, and what you might have, is the T was pointing towards the target during the takeaway. And then it pointed towards him at impact, right, on the way down. So he had the opposite. He had T towards target, T towards him, club head outside the hands. We want the opposite of that. We want hands in, T towards us, club head out. And then on the way down, club head inside the hands with the T feeling like it's at the target. So you get a little bit of flow there going, but we were just doing the backswing first. I don't really care where you go here, so long as the club head comes inside, your hands at the bottom. That's really the checkpoint we have to hit. The point though is that it's just easier to do when you do it like this early. It's easier to set yourself up for success here early and have that be a natural byproduct. If you get the club head inside your hands here and the hands go out and you net out good, I wouldn't lose sleep over it. Or if your hands go too far out and you net out good. It's all about netting out good during the downswing. Just based on my experience, this would be the easiest way to get to that point. T towards me, club head out. T towards the target, club head in. T towards me, club head out. T towards the target, club head in. And once we can get into a little bit of a flow with that, we should be able to put things together where it ends up fairly neutral, right? Where my club path is pretty close to zero, my club face is pretty close to zero, and I'm able to hit the ball fairly straight. So just like with this member, what you want to do with your swing and I want to do is just have it be easy, up and down. But it might need to feel a little bit like it's got a little loop going there just to get to that point. So check those checkpoints, use this little T drill. If you have any questions, as always, leave a comment down below. If you like the video, consider liking that, doing that thumbs up for us really helps. If you have any questions, like I mentioned, if you want to share this video to some friends, click the subscribe button, all that stuff really helps us out. Appreciate you guys watching.